Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Prague's Tour Guide. My name is Patrick, and in today's video we'll talk about the largest stadium in the world, which is called the Strahov Stadium. So let's check it out. So now we managed to get inside the stadium, which is not allowed, but it's not that hard to get in. And now we'll go on the stands. The Strahov Stadium has an area of 9 football fields and the capacity of 250,000 spectators, dwarfing stadiums such as Wembley, Camp Nou or the Michigan Stadium's so-called Big House. The stadium was founded in 1926 for an organization called Sokol, which means falcon in Czech. It was a very popular international organization that was supporting sports, and they had their nationwide reunions here on the stadium. In 1926, when the stadium was founded, it didn't look like this. The stands were made out of wood and partially they were out of clay. But then in 1930s, they rebuilt it into more or less the current shape. They made it out of concrete. During World War II, the Nazis used it for their big propaganda events. And the communists after World War II, they continued with the propaganda events with the so-called Spartakiadas. And Spartakiada, the first one was in 1955, and it happened every 5 years until 1985. And it was like big communist reunion where like hundreds of thousands of people attended and millions of people watched on the TV, and there would be people exercising all in the same way, and it would be like a celebration of sport and a celebration of communism. In 1989, communism fell. And in summer 1990, the first big concert of like a Western band in the Czechoslovakia took place here. It was a concert of Rolling Stones. 110,000 people attended this the concert. Actually, 1/3 of the stadium was closed off. This is where the stage was, and then 2/3 were just filled with people. So this is still up until today the biggest concert in our history. Then like AC/DC, Bon Jovi, U2, Pink Floyd, Guns N' Roses, Rammstein, they all had their concert here in the 90s. And since 2003, it's used by Sparta Prague, which is the most successful Czech football club, not currently, but historically. And they use it as their training grounds. Yeah, guys, as you can see, the stadium is in a really bad shape. There's like, trees growing and, it's falling apart. And like there were ideas in the 90s to tear it down and maybe have like apartment buildings here, because this is a very luxurious property, right next to the Prague district. However, now it's protected by law. It's a landmark. And another idea was to repair it and to have like Summer Olympic Games, but it would be way too expensive. So for now, it's just rented by Sparta Prague and used as their training facility. So in the period from 1955 until 1985, the stadium was used for events called Spartakiadas. Now, the first Spartakiada took place in 1955 to celebrate the 10 years anniversary of the liberation by the Red Army. And basically, there were tens of thousands of people, and they were all exercising in the same way. It was synchronized gymnastics. Now there were people from different parts of the society. They were like students, they were factory workers, they were soldiers even. And for most people, it wasn't mandatory to come here, but it was sort of like a social stigma if you didn't come. Like then, if you didn't come, people would ask you, like the communists would ask you, like, why didn't you come? And you might get in trouble for that. And it happened every 5 years with the exception of 1970 because of Prague Spring and the invasion of the armies of the Warsaw Pact. And a lot of things happen around it. Like, for example, the government brought in like exotic fruit, which wasn't normally available during communism, So you could eat like bananas and like other exotic fruit. They would bring like salamis from Hungary. And it was just like a nationwide celebration of communism and of unity and sport. So although there is an area of 9 football fields, there are only 8 of them. The 9th one you would fit in here, but there are locker rooms. And it's been like this since 2003 when Sparta Prague rented it from the city of Prague, and they're just prolonging the rent on and on. So we don't know when will this end, if ever. And they don't really use the stands anymore, so they only use the football fields. And it's the first team that plays here, doesn't play here, that trains here. They play in another stadium in Prague 7 in Letná Park. And here it's used by the first team and also the Sparta Prague's academy. So all the way from the little kids to the first team. So guys, this is the end of our short tour from this spectacular, largest stadium in the world, Strahov Stadium. I hope you liked our video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Also feel free to check our website, lucidtours.com, and we look forward to seeing you on our next tour. So, ahoy! Yeah, guys, we noticed that there's a drive-in cinema with a bar right next to the stadium. So we decided to have some non-alcoholic beer called Birel, so cheers.